DR Sports here, and we've just finished Man United v Spurs. A great game for you guys, wouldn't you say?
I think it was brilliant. I think for me, in terms of 90 minutes, that was the most complete performance from start to finish. Completely dominated Spurs. And 2-0 really is a bit fortunate for Spurs because we should have had much more. We had obviously goal disallowed, hit the woodwork, a lot of chances. Lloris was Spurs' best player by a mile, and we were still comfortable. David De Gea didn't have anything to do. Much more comfortable than I thought it would be. I thought we'd win, but I thought they would actually give us something to think about with Kane and Son. But we completely nullified them. Ten Hag masterclass, really.
Well, exactly. We are seeing Ten Hag implement his style of play, and it seems to be working against those top six teams. Maybe not so much the others, but what are you thinking of it?
Well, that's the thing. I think one of our biggest strengths are the counter-attacks. Surprisingly today, I mean, we did have some chance on the counter-attack, but we played very much on the front foot. When we played Arsenal and Liverpool, that was a lot on the counter-attack. It was the games in between Leicester, Southampton, and then Newcastle, where we're struggling to break down sides. But Spurs, they play with a back eight. They got 5 defenders, 3 defensive midfielders, and we were able to either cut them apart for our passing or press them high when they're trying to pass out and create chances like that. So we're definitely, I mean, we have to wait as the season goes on, but if this is anything to go by, playing, say, smaller teams who are going to be more defensive, if we can replicate this kind of performance, I'm going to be much more confident, not just getting results in the bigger games.
Well, I'm hoping you don't get one on Saturday, but
Small teams.
We did see a bit of a shock just towards the end of that game. Ronaldo walking down the tunnel before the full-time whistle was blown. What do you make of that?
I don't want to go too hard too soon because I don't know the exact context, but if he went down for me without, and listen, I love Ronaldo, if he went down the tunnel without any permission or letting the manager, the coaches know that he was going and just basically stormed out petulant because he's not coming on, that's you have to fine and droppable offence. I don't care who we're playing Chelsea next, whoever, you have to drop, because that kind of behaviour can't be seen to be tolerated, because then other players are going to think they can get away with that. And we've got an issue at this club over the last few years of player power, toxicity in the dressing room, and players basically turn on managers, getting them sacked. Ten Hag would need to stamp that out. Now, I don't know, there may have been a conversation and Ten Hag allowed him to go down the tunnel, but I wonder why, as a player, unless for an emergency, why would you want to leave in a game that your team's winning, your teammates are winning, and not stay to the end to support them, support the fans and clap them off? I don't understand that mentality. Yes, you want to leave in the summer, but you can't, even if you want to leave in the summer, you can't leave now. So you need to get on and do your job that you're getting paid a hell of a lot of money for. So for me, that's a bit of a sour end to the night, and I'm sure it's gonna end up being a big talking point, because Ronaldo's a big talking point. But the biggest talking point is that we've got another 3 points. We bounced back from a difficult or a disappointing result against Newcastle, and we have to keep pushing on.
Absolutely. So just tell us where you think, at this point in the season, where are you going to finish?
I mean, start of the season, I said 6th. And the only reason that I'm contemplating anything different is because how bad Liverpool's been so far at the start of the season. They're only a few points behind us. But also Chelsea's issues in terms of sacking their manager, that no one was expecting Tuchel to be gone, a week after the transfer window ended. So that kind of instability is something that you hope that Man United can capitalise on. At the moment, we're sitting in 5th. I'm not going to put the pressure on the boys to say we have to get top 4, but we need to make sure we're in and around that position, that if anything does happen, if Chelsea or Potter not continues to, but if he starts to struggle, if Spurs don't pick up their performances, and we have to be ready and waiting to pounce to capitalise. And of course, we've still got Europa League that we can get in the Champions League. But I think this position that we're in now, very comfortable and pretty much expected that we'll be around there after 11 games, 10 games. Yeah, I think we've got a game in hand on those guys at the top.
Perfect. Well, we'll see.